Clark hustling away.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it.
They hit her hard. She got up harder. Caitlin Clark just flipped the switch, and the Dream had no idea what was coming.
There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark did.
A brutal hit, an icy stare, and then Caitlin Clark lit the court on fire. What looked like a preseason tune-up quickly turned into a statement game. The Atlanta Dream came in swinging, but Caitlin didn't just answer, she exploded. And what followed was pure savage revenge.
This game on Tuesday was balanced. Can we see it here tonight as Atlanta starts off with the rock?
Here's the full breakdown. It's the Fever versus the Dream in their final preseason clash, and Indiana wasted no time setting the tone. Kelsey Mitchell opened the game like a true vet, finding Natasha Howard on a rim roll for an easy, soft hook. Smooth, simple, effective. Then Mitchell got sneaky. She fooled her defender with a fake handoff that left the defense spinning and the crowd buzzing. But the real highlight? Queen Egbo grabbed a rebound and decided she didn't need anyone else. Coast to coast like a guard, she roasted every white jersey inside and finished it herself. This wasn't just ball movement, it was chemistry. You could feel the energy building in every Fever possession. And when a team clicks that early, you just know it's going to be a show. But before Indiana could run away with it, someone from Atlanta decided to crash the party.
The season. Pow, pow, behind the back. And the teardrop. We haven't called her name very often.
Enter Tahina Paopao. Atlanta's 8th overall pick wasn't here for the vibes. She was here to fight. She came flying in with back-to-back aggressive drives that left defenders scrambling. No hesitation, no fear, just pure hustle. She single-handedly tied it up at 11 apiece, reminding everyone that she might be a rookie, but she's not backing down from anyone, not even Caitlin Clark and the Fever. This early exchange set the tone for what would be a gritty back-and-forth battle, and just when it felt like the Dream had settled in, the first Caitlin Clark bomb dropped. The Dream was hanging in, but Caitlin Clark hadn't even really started yet. That changed fast. After threading a beautiful pass to Aaliyah Boston in the paint for an and-one finish, Clark decided it was time to introduce Atlanta to her signature move. A simple step, a quick read, and boom. She pulled up from behind the arc and splashed her first three-pointer of the night. Clean, smooth, and cold-blooded. That's the Caitlin special, and she made it look effortless. The back and forth continued, but Indiana had the edge, both on the scoreboard and in the swagger department. As the first quarter came to a close, it was clear Caitlin had woken up, and the Fever were heating up right with her. Indiana took a 21-16 lead into the second quarter, and with 2C already getting in rhythm, the Dream had no idea what storm was about to hit.
It's been by committee as Kelsey Mitchell relentless.
Blink once, and Caitlin Clark is already firing. Just 15 seconds into the second quarter, she steps into another three-pointer and drills it. Same shot, same range, different quarter. The message? She's not done. Not even close. But Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a magician with the ball. On the next play, she reads the defense, baits the help, and delivers a laser to Sophie Cunningham, cutting backdoor for an easy bucket. Then came the highlight handle. CC went behind the back to split two defenders, showcasing just how tight her control is under pressure. Still, the Dream didn't fold. Tahina Paopao responded with a long-range triple of her own to swing the momentum right back. But Sophie wasn't about to let that slide. Cunningham pulled up and splashed one from deep, answering right back for the Fever. The quarter turned into a haymaker battle, each team swinging from the arc, fast breaks flying, the pace breakneck. But through it all, Caitlin stayed cool, dissecting the floor like a surgeon. Every possession had a purpose, and the vibe? This game wasn't just a preseason warm-up anymore, it was a full-on war. Just when the Fever were getting their groove on, the officials stepped in. Out of nowhere, Caitlin Clark was hit with her first technical foul of the season. No clear reason, no explanation, just a whistle and a quick momentum killer. The crowd was confused, so was Clark, but instead of sulking, she turned that frustration into fire. On the very next possession, Clark pulled out the step-back three, cool, calculated, and loud. It was aimed right at Tahina Paopao, and it hit nothing but the net. Message received. But Paopao wasn't done either. Moments later, she caught Clark off balance and hit her with a crossover so clean, it sent Caitlin sliding. The arena erupted, the respect between them, unspoken but real. They weren't just going at each other, they were pushing each other to get better. It wasn't just trash talk or ego, it was competitive fire at its best. Just seconds into the third quarter, the entire arena held its breath. Sophie Cunningham, who'd been sharp all game, stepped awkwardly on a Dream player's foot while chasing a rebound. Her ankle twisted badly, and she went down hard. At first glance, it looked rough, like season-altering rough, but the Fever's bench stayed calm, and Coach Christy Sides later confirmed it wasn't serious. Sophie's expected to be ready by opening night. The moment could have derailed Indiana's energy, but instead of unraveling, they locked in even more. And that's when Caitlin Clark decided to crank the dial up. With Cunningham out, pressure mounted, but Caitlin Clark wasn't fazed. She drove straight into the lane, absorbed heavy contact from Alicia Gray, and still floated it in off the glass. It was a physical play, but Clark didn't flinch. She popped up and jogged back like nothing happened. Then came another masterclass moment. Clark weaved through traffic and fired a tight bounce pass through a narrow window to Aaliyah Boston, who finished effortlessly. It was surgical, but it wasn't just Clark. Kelsey Mitchell got busy too, dancing with the ball and making Gray look silly before banking in a smooth layup. On the other end, Bree Jones kept the Dream alive with 2 bruising buckets inside. The intensity rose, the tempo quickened, and both teams were starting to feel the playoff-like tension. Still, Clark looked calm, too calm. And that calm, it was the kind you see before a storm. With 3 minutes left in the third, the game boiled over. Caitlin Clark made a strong drive to the rim, and that's when it happened. Ryan Howard came down with a brutal hack, smacking Clark straight in the face. Caitlin hit the hardwood hard, clearly stunned, and as if the foul wasn't enough, Howard stood over her and stared down coldly like she was making a statement. The refs? Silent, no whistle, no flagrant, no foul. It was the kind of moment that changes a game and a player. You could feel it shift. The crowd booed, the Fever bench was livid, and Clark, she didn't yell, she didn't retaliate, she just stood up and let her game do the talking. The very next possession, she launched a full-court missile, a perfect pass over the top that hit her teammate in stride for an easy fast-break layup. It was a quarterback-level dime, and it shook Atlanta's defense. That single sequence, getting hit, ignored by officials, then answering with elite play, was the true turning point. Was that Caitlin Clark, who was pacing herself early in the game, gone? From that moment forward, she was locked in with savage focus. By the end of the third, the Fever were still on top, 63-59. But now, the tone was different. Clark wasn't just playing anymore, she was hunting.
Atlanta does not have any more fouls to give, so the next foul will be Kelsey Mitchell, an excellent free throw shooter for Indiana.
Faced a double-digit fourth quarter deficit, came all the way back to take a late lead.
With the starters getting some well-earned rest, Coach Christy Sides rolled the dice in the fourth, and Lexi Hull delivered a fourth quarter performance no one saw coming. She started by drawing double teams, then dished it to open teammates like a seasoned point guard. But it wasn't just her passing. Hull got aggressive. She knocked down a smooth mid-range jumper, then followed it up by slashing through the lane and finishing strong with an and one. No hesitation, no fear. On the next set, she ran off a pin-down screen, squared up, and drained another clean jumper. And when the Dream tried to close the gap, Lexi stepped to the foul line with confidence and nailed the jumper that sealed the win. In just one quarter, Lexi Hull scored 11 of her 14 points, added 5 rebounds and 4 assists, and completely took over the game. The Dream didn't see it coming, and that's what made it so deadly. Let's run it back with the numbers. Final score, Fever 81, Dream 76. Caitlin Clark, 13 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 threes. Lexi Hull, 14 points, 11 in fourth, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Tahina, pow. Proved she's a legit rookie threat with big-time shots. Bree Jones and Ryan Howard fought hard in the paint and kept the Dream within striking distance. Stats aside, this game was about grit, heart, and a whole lot of revenge.
Good job. Don't worry about it. Congrats. Good job.
It's one. A lot more to come. Shout out our fans. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for showing up, showing love to all my teammates. We appreciate you. More to come.
Man, I'm excited, thankful, at the same time grateful. But I think I'm just excited to do it in front of with this group, in front of this crowd. That was crazy. That was my first time playing in front of a crowd like that, so I think I was a little shell shocked. But now I know the specs, so I'll be better.
Hit it once, I'll hit it again. Pow, pow, pow! Fever dog.
Forget the box score. What stood out was the chemistry. This Fever team is deep, unselfish, and locked in. They wrapped up the preseason undefeated, and here's the kicker. Each game had a different scoring leader and rebounding leader. That doesn't happen without trust and serious buy-in. You've got Caitlin Clark leading without needing to dominate every play. You've got Kelsey, Lexi, Boston, and the rest stepping up when it matters. The ball movement, crisp. The off-ball cuts, constant. Everyone's moving, everyone's involved, and that makes them incredibly tough to guard. Clark's presence alone is drawing gravity, but it's what the team does around her that's next level. They're learning to blend star power with system basketball, and that's a dangerous combo. If the Fever can keep this rhythm going, they're not just playoff material, they're building something bigger.
Rebecca Allen, and look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark, walks away. We know there are balls, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark and Angel Reese.
Next stop, opening night, and it's not just any game. It's Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, round 1. One of the biggest rivalries in college hoops now hits the professional stage. Sparks are guaranteed. Expect fireworks, fouls, and fierce competition. These two don't hold back, and neither do their teams. But this time, the stakes are higher. Caitlin Clark comes in battle-tested with a chip on her shoulder from the Atlanta Dream game. She's not just trying to win, she's trying to set the tone for the season. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is bringing her hunger. She's been waiting for this showdown too. Fever versus Sky could be season-defining from the very first tip. And if this last game was any preview, Clark's not just ready, she's coming for blood. So grab your popcorn, because this rivalry is back, and it's about to be everything we hoped for.